All right, guys, what do you want? You want world survey, player survey, or systems? We have a couple more to do today. Couple more surveys. React to your Warsong game? I don't want to react to my own game. Player, player, player. Everyone wants player. All right, let's do player. Professions, races. Let's start professions, sure. How much do you enjoy the current profession system in Classic WoW? It's solid while leveling at max. Early, it's solid, but then it falls off. It's not bad. Could be better. I think everyone needs to be engineering or like tailoring. So it's kind of weighted on one. Could definitely be better towards endgame, like get some more crafted stuff. But while leveling, it feels really nice, which is like a lot of the game for a lot of people. Some more endgame stuff would be nice. Rank the following impressions on how much you enjoy them. Well, yeah, so first aid's up there. Engineering's number 1. Cooking, lower. Herbalism, probably lower. Fishing last. Here, let me put my camera up here. I think the gathering ones in general are just like not as fun. Like fishing, urban, mining, but like they're gathering, so it's like, of course. I'd say alchemy's kind of all right. I don't know. All of these in the middle are kind of whatever. Alchemy, tailoring, engineering, and first aid. I definitely like those two the most. I don't know about the rest. It's like all somewhere in the middle. Yeah, maybe something like this. I don't know. How useful do you believe the current profession system is in vanilla classic WoW for the following? For leveling, it's great. I mean, I don't know if I'd put it to a 10, but like it's like an 8 or a 9. Like it's pretty good. For raiding early, it kind of sucks. Or for raiding early, it's kind of good, but then later it kind of sucks, falls off. And then for PvP, I mean, for PvP, it's really good for if you, like, you need to be engineering, but like there's only one option. It's just engineering. So it's useful, but like it could be more. Engineering is very good though. Yeah, maybe I'll do 8, 5, 9. Harp, thanks for the prime. Sawan, thanks for the prime. Many of the ingredients required for crafting professions are too hard to find. I kind of agree with that, but I might just be an idiot. Every time I'm trying to do, I suck at professions. Like I struggle with this. Night Slayer's up, yep. What realm you on? Dream. Should gathering professions be changed to secondary? Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. So you could go like mining, blacksmithing, and engineering. I would have to think about this. I'm gonna put no opinion. I don't actually know. My knee jerk is like no, but that like this could maybe have some decent implications. I don't know. Should professions give XP? Only for gathering, only for crafting? Yes, for all. I wouldn't mind professions giving a tiny bit. So when you're, so New World did this, when you're leveling, like making copper bombs or whatever, like when you're level like 10, you get like a little bit of XP. Not, it shouldn't be optimal, shouldn't be the best way to level, but I wouldn't mind a tiny bit of XP. I actually kind of like that in New World because you felt like, oh, I'm not wasting my time. I'm building something good and I'm getting a tiny bit of experience. I wouldn't mind it, but I think it should be very small. Like not, the best way to level should not be sitting in the city making stuff. That should be, it should be very slow. Should professions be rebalanced to give more value to diverse profession choices? Engineering less required? Probably. Like, I don't think engineering should be nerfed, but some of the other ones should be buffed to how engineering is. Like, so you have some more choices. Should Classic Plus add profession specializations like dragon scale, leatherworking, armorsmithing to more professions? So in engineering, you have like goblin and gnomish. That's interesting. Maybe. I mean, maybe to like tailoring and blacksmith. Wait, where's blacksmithing? Am I blind? Did they forget it? Oh, it already has one. Oh, I'm dumb. Should gear crafted while you're leveling be more relevant and accessible? Probably, yeah. Should profession quests require that you learn the profession to complete or allow you to purchase the items from someone with that profession instead? Oh. I could see this going either way. I mean, there's some quests already that you can just buy the stuff. Like the gyromatic thing in Badlands. I wish there was a no opinion option here. Can I leave it blank? Maybe I'll leave this one blank. Should you be able to use gathering professions or corresponding elements like in TBC? Oh, on corresponding elementals. What does this mean? Moats? Like you can mine a rock alley? Oh. I never did that. Mining dead rock alleys. You know what I did is the engineering thing, you could like suck the air out of the air. You guys know what I'm talking about? Moats of air, and you just like, you use the little engineering thing to suck it out. Yeah, that's what I did. I did a lot of that back in the day. Mode extractor, yeah, that thing was fire. I don't know, maybe. And I need to answer this because there's a star. Yeah, I'm not sure. Man, some of these I actually just don't know. I'll do no opinion on Black Lotus. I have to answer these, so I'll do yes and yes. Cool. All right. We'll do a systems survey now. We did PvP, we did mechanic, so let's do itemization. Should some BIS items for PvE be solely available as a reward for PvP? Wait, should some BIS items for PvE be solely available? Oh, okay, so they're basically saying, like, should you have to go BG or arena to get your BIS in PvE? Everyone's saying no in the chat. Here's my take. To me, it's not a massive deal. Maybe my opinion has changed over the time, but let me just say this. To me, it's not a massive deal if one item from your PvP gear is from a raid. So like one trinket. Vice versa, to me, it's not a massive deal if one of your best PvE items is from PvP, say set bonus gloves or something, I don't know. Or a ring, right? Maybe a ring is a better example. It becomes a problem when it's like you need like 6 pieces, right? So PvP becomes a problem when you need like half your gear from PvE. PvE becomes a problem when like the weapon is best in slot and trinkets, like when it becomes like half your gear. To me, it's not a big problem when it's like one piece. It's actually very nice cross-pollination. And what I mean by that is PvP players have to go raid for one item, and it's like, oh, this is actually not as bad. And then PvE players have to do a couple battlegrounds, and they're like, oh, maybe it's not as bad. And I know that doesn't sound very good. I know that doesn't sound very good, but like the cross-pollination a little bit is healthy for the game, I believe. It's as long as it's not overkill. So the keyword, one item, man, one item. Like if it's more than that, it's kind of annoying. Anyway, so I'll put yes, but like with the asterisk of like it should be one item. If it's more than that, like it just gets too annoying. It creates healthy gameplay flow. That's exactly right. Now in the past, I would have said no. Like as a strictly like I only want a PvP, let me just PvP, I would have always said no. But like now, after playing the game more from like a holistic standpoint, I think it's like it is healthy for the game. It just should be very limited. Gene, my favorite exercise in the gym, I don't know. I like weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, overhead press, Bulgarian split squats, RDLs, like a lot of basics. Should classes get a strong buff when they wear a full set of gear and the highest equipment type, e.g. warrior plate, shaman, mail, druid, leather? No, leave it the way it was. No gear type buff. Probably leave it the way it was. I think this is like, it just doesn't need to be that way. That's like a good heuristic, right? Like if it doesn't need to be there, it should probably take it out. Should progressive phases introduce gear that nearly always has higher base stats than previously gear available? No situational upgrades, e.g. certain magic pen types can replace traditional power creep. No, things like set bonuses can be a more unique way of increasing player power. Yeah, so no. This is horizontal versus vertical. We want it more horizontal. And you can do things with like magic resistance and set bonuses. If you just keep doing power creep, it's going to get better forever. Then the game kind of loses its charm. So I'd say more this one. Keep it horizontal. Do you like that certain items can remain powerful for several phases, like Onslaught Hurdle, Regem, and Choker? Yeah, I love this. I think this is one of the things that makes Classic so good, right? Currently is somewhat horizontal in the sense that like you do have to go for Onslaught Girdle and MC for a while, or you do need to go for Mind Quickening Gem, or you do need to go for Thunder Fear, or you do need to go for Stylanes and BWL. So like, yeah, I think this is great. It keeps the old raids relevant. Very, very, very good. Should legendaries and Classic Plus always be weapons, or also other gear slots? Probably always weapons. I don't know. Legendary chest or something. It just feels weird in Classic. Should legendary weapons and items remain bits for the entire lifetime of Classic Plus? Oh yeah, definitely. I would hate to have legendaries get replaced. Like, yeah, they're a legendary. Should every class get access to legendary weapons and items? So right now you have Odd TH for casters, you have Thunder Fury for tanks and one-handed deeps, and you have Sulfurous for like two-handers. What's missing? Like a legendary bow? I honestly wouldn't mind a legendary bow. What else is missing besides that? A healer weapon? Healers don't use Odd TH. A rogue dagger, but rogues can get Thunder Fury. A shield, tanks can get Thunder Fury. Druids, screw Okay, I think if you add one legendary to classic, it should be a bow. I don't think every class should have an like, I don't think there should be a legendary of like everything, but I wouldn't mind adding a bow. I think we already have Thunder Fury for like warriors, rogues, pallies. We have Hand of Rag for like shamans and pallies. ATS for like locks, mages, and shadow priests. Healers kind of get shafted, and druids kind of get shafted. Maybe you can make Hand of Rag usable by druids, how they did in Sod, and then add a bow. Maybe that's the final answer. Anyway, I wouldn't want like everything. Druids can use ATS too. Oh yeah, true. So should every class get access? I guess yes. The only one that doesn't have one right now is a hunter. Give them a bow. I wouldn't mind a legendary bow at some point in Classic Plus, but I don't think it should go overboard. Should weapon skill remain in the game? I don't mind it. What stats, if any, should be added to gear in Classic Plus? I think Magic Pen works if you're gonna do stuff like Magic Pen and Molten Core. I think haste is fun. I don't think you need resilience. I don't think you need mastery. Expertise, maybe not. Armor Pen, maybe. I don't know about expertise and armor pen. I think Magic Pen and haste from the Mage Pov are both really fun. I don't know. Do you guys like armor pen and expertise from like a melee Pov? I don't know if it's needed. Yes, 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 yes. It's tough. From the Mage Pov, I love Magic Pen and haste. They're both very fun. But from the melee Pov, I haven't played enough at 60 to know. Maybe I'll say yes to all those, but no resilience, no mastery. Should resistances remain a stat on items? Yes. Should gear score item level be relevant stat for players in Classic Plus? And I hope it. I wish it didn't need to be, but it's just that way. There's nothing you could do to make this not a thing. So I guess yes, just because you can't change it. Everyone's saying no, but like, what do you mean no? What does that even mean? Of course it's gonna be a thing. People make an add-on. How are you gonna remove that? Set bonuses, it'll still be a thing. Delete item levels from items. You do it via an add-on. I don't know how this ever goes away. I wish I could say no. I just don't think this ever goes away. It's just not even realistic. Like, people will always do this. You know? I guess the answer is should it be relevant? Like, no, but it is. So it's like, I don't know how I'm supposed to answer this one. It's always going to be. You just like, it's like, you know, should it be relevant? I guess not, but it is. I guess it is should. So I guess I'll say no, but yeah. Should healing power and spell power be combined into one stat? No. Should more device gear affixes be added? Ichi, soldier of the sorcerer? Yeah, sure. Should attack power and range attack power be combined? I feel like they probably should. After playing rogue and hunter, it's like, it's kind of annoying. Should crit and hit chance be changed to rating instead of a flat percentage? I think the percentage is easier to understand, but I don't care here. It doesn't matter to me. It's the same thing. But the percentage, it makes more sense in my head. Should casters have a base stat int or something else that gives them spell power, like how strength gives attack power? I don't think it needs to be that way. Should Classic Plus have the ability to reforge your gear, reducing one stat? I like reforge, but I don't think it needs to be in Classic Plus, so no. Wow, these are some really good questions. Like, that was a really good series of questions there. Int gives spell power? No, not in Classic. All right, economy, reps, and more survey. How do you feel about gold sinks in WoW? Gold sinks feel bad, keeps things cheap and easy to get. Gold sinks are good. They keep the value of gold high and prevent inflation. Yeah. What kind of gold sinks would you be okay with? Guild perks, I guess. Cosmetic recolored mounts, I guess. More expensive flight paths, no. Unlocking fast travel options, no. Temporary buffs increase your crafting skill ability, maybe not. Items that allow you to get world buffs whenever. I think this is what Sod did. That's one option. Doesn't need to be this way. Either remove world buffs altogether or do something like this. But this was the Sod solution. I think this works. It's not super sexy, but it works. Consumables, flasks, elixirs, etc. I guess, because that's already how it is. But that's annoying. Heirlooms gear you can send to alts that scales with your level and increase XP. I don't think there should be heirlooms. All right. Should Classic Plus have tabards for certain reps that allow you to get rep from any high level dungeon like in Wrath? Probably not. Well, I mean, it would help people go into dungeons more. So for me, I need Brood of Nozdormu rep, and I'm a tank. I could just put on the tabard and run guildies through dungeons all day. It would help me and help them. That is a pretty good bonus. But then it makes the rep farm not feel unique for anything. I think it's more bad than good. The good from it is more dungeons. The bad from it is it takes away from the RPG element. I'm gonna say no here. That's a good question though. Should Classic Plus allow you to level certain reps beyond Exalted as a prestige level, granting additional cosmetic items to that rep? How do you feel about certain reps being linked and choosing one prevents you from gaining rep with the other? I don't really like these that much. Yeah, here and there. Would you want to see account-bound items in Classic Plus that gives you double rep gains for that rep once one character reaches Exalted, e.g. Commendations and Mop? Honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I feel like I wouldn't mind that. It's kind of like account-wide attunements. Let me think about it for a second and the implications. What's an annoying rep farm in Classic WoW? Like Brood of Nozdormu goes quick, ZG goes quick. Which ones do you need that are really annoying? Because is there any? Brood's not bad. Timbermaw Hold. Do you need Timbermaw? Not really, unless you're a PvPer. Timbermaw, I guess. Timbermaw would be annoying if you're a PvPer grinding it multiple times. I'm just trying to think if there's anything. Oh, for enchanting you need it. Hydraxian Waterlords for douses, huh? I'm trying to think if there's anything that annoying in Classic that you would actually need this, because most of them aren't too bad. Warsong Gulch and AP, the PvP reps, yeah. I don't know. Maybe this is fine. If you already have Exalted on your main, your alt can get to Exalted quicker. Maybe that's fine. I don't know. I'd have to maybe think about that one a bit more. There's not too many annoying reps is why I was gonna maybe say no, because it's like, bro, it's like, come on, like, but I guess there are a few. Should Classic Plus feature additional minor reputations with very difficult grinds that grant prestige items like Bloodsteel Buccaneers and Winter Spring? Sure, these are fun and don't affect player power. I like these, they add fun variety. There's 2 yes options on this one. That's weird. Where's the no option? There's no opinion and yes and yes. Where's the no? Okay. I guess I'm voting yes. I was gonna vote yes anyway, but it is funny that there's no on that one. That's funny. Classic Plus survey races and factions. Which of these new races would I want to see? At the start, none. From there, I think High Elves would be cool. Blood Elves maybe. Goblins maybe. And then that's probably it for a while. That's probably it for a while. Like those would probably be the first 3. Draenei maybe as well, I guess. Worgen, no. Drakthir, no. Void Elf, no. Draenei, no. Orc, Kulturon, Mechanome, Furbogs. Ogres, maybe. Centaurs, Ethereals, Tuskers, Satyrs, Murlocs, Earthen, Volpera, Troll, Dark Eindorf, High Mountain, Nightborn, Panda. Yeah, so I think these would be like my first picks. Blood Elves, Goblins, High Elves, Draenei, and then if you wanted to do something crazy, maybe Ogre. But I would say 0 new races on launch. These would all come with content updates down the line. That's what I would think. And I'd say Ogres is the crazy pick. You can maybe say no to Ogres. Okay, I'll actually take Ogres off. It's more of a crazy pick if you want to do something crazy like down the line. How do you feel about neutral races choosing factions after starting zone, like pandas? I don't know. I don't really like it's what I don't know. It doesn't I guess it doesn't bother me either way. If neutral races are added, at what level should they be forced to choose a faction? 1 to 10 or something. Out of 10, how much would you like the current racial trait system in WoW? Various resistances, weapon, profession, expertise, and utility bonuses. I think I actually don't like the current racial system that much. I think it feels weird that you have to play a human as a warrior, you have to play orc for horde, for axe prof, for sword prof. PvP, orc is super OP, undeads are super good. Like I would like people to play more. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know how to fix it though. There's a few ways you could fix it. The first is when you pick your class, then you could pick your racial, right? I feel like another game does this, like an Elder Scrolls game does this maybe. You could pick your class, then your racial. They're 2 separate things. That's one way to fix it. Another way to fix it is you nerf the racials, right? So you just make them not as strong. A third way to fix it is you remove the OP racials, but keep the ones that are so-so. So like remove sword spec because it's just super OP, but keep something like diplomacy or like the human spirit. Like keep the stuff that's not like game breaking. but remove the OP ones. So there's a couple ways to change it. Or everyone gets really good racials. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do. It's easier to remove the OP ones than to give everyone OP ones, because then it still becomes meta, right? I don't know. Well, my favorite solution is probably just remove the crazy OP ones. Keep the flavor ones. You know, the 1% movement speed or 1% crit or whatever. Like the stuff that's like good, like you're excited about it, but it's not like game breaking, right? Like that kind of stuff. And yes, I would remove stun resist from orcs. Goodness gracious, that thing is annoying. Anyway, how do you feel about rebalancing the racials? Oh, okay, so we were just talking about this. Racials create FOMO, remove them entirely, balance them for all races, but don't change the soul. Allow you to change your racials to whatever combination you want. Okay, so we should have just read this. This is all the stuff we were just talking about. No rebalancing needed. Remove combat racials so that all races perform the same in their chosen class spec. Yeah, okay, so these are literally all the things we just talked about. I think my favorite is this. Like, remove the combat ones. So there's like little, flavor RPG elements, but like the combat, it's like play what you want to play kind of a thing. I think that makes the most sense to me. That is a tough question though. How would you feel about cross faction play? No. Maybe battlegrounds and arenas. Definitely not raids, open world. Probably just not. Clocko, thanks for the prime. How do you feel about the current faction dynamic? May name the two faction is critical to the lore. Yeah. Add a third faction now. Should gear mounts be faction specific? Should certain content like quests or dungeons be exclusive to particular factions? Yeah. Should the regular auction house be cross faction? I mean, it's good to ask the questions, I guess. Third faction, why not? The burden of proof is on you because it's already this way. So third faction, why? It's not on me to say why not. It's on you to show why. So why would you add a third faction to a game that's already so darn good? Wouldn't make any sense. Raid survey. Should there be level up raids that give strong items but require 10 plus players like Sod, BFD, No More Sunken Temple? I didn't mind level up raids, but they just die once you're max. For people that played Sod, like this is a very small amount of people. For people that leveled in Sod at the end, was anyone doing BFD, Nomer, and Sunken Temple, or were you just skipping and getting to max? I think you would just skip and get to max. No, yes, no, skip, yes. A lot of people are saying yes. If they gave good XP and good loot, and people actually did them, I would vote yes. If they're just dead and no one ever does them again, it's just a waste of time and energy. It's just a waste of time if you're gonna have a raid that's just no one's doing. Part of me just wants to say no. Like, just focus on endgame raids and then focus on more level. Like, okay, how about this? This is a false dichotomy, but what if you had two options? You had more level up raids, or you just had more 5-player dungeons leveling? What would you rather have? Level up raids or more 5-player dungeons? Yeah, most people are saying dungeons. I agree. I would rather have a new dungeon between 42 and 44. I would rather have a new dungeon between like 50 and 53 than more level up raids. I'll say no, but let's do, I would say more dungeons. That's not the question though. Right. But just as a thought experiment, it's a good thought experiment. But yeah, it's a false dichotomy. Boom, 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 boom. All right, Ampy says he's down for the 5-man Ani later this week too. I'll keep Ani lockout for that. Sick, that'll be fun. How do you feel about catch-up raids for ZG and AQ? I think they're great. ZG and AQ 20 are both great. I like how easy they are. Easy to fill, easy to do. You get good gear, but it's not too good. Catch-up raids invalidate all the work I did in the previous year by making it easy to get loot. I don't think ZG or AQ 20 feels that way. There's a lot of blue items. It's not better than Molten Core gear. There's some items that are. And let me double check this. But like, so ZG, Blood Collar is 33 spell damage. It's a good sword. But is it as good as Mageblade? No. So like, that's how it should be. Like, they should, like, catch-up raids should not invalidate the work you did, but it should help you get in an easier way if you missed. I think it's like ZG's perfect. And then AQ20, same kind of a thing. It's a lot of blue gear. There's like a couple good items from Osirian, but it's not going to make you feel like you wasted your time. I think these are fine. But they can't be too, the gear can't be too big. Right? Like, it can't be How do you feel about RP elements and raids? E.g. too soon Executus phase 1 of Kel'Thuzad. Don't make them 5 minutes, bro. Don't make them 5 minutes, man. Remove them. Removing it keeps it special. Okay, my opinion is just make them shorter. No RP longer than 1 minute, maybe 2. Like 5 minutes is ridiculous. Give it 1 minute RP is fine. 60-second RP is completely fine. 5 minutes, completely not fine. I don't know. I'll do this one, I guess. Make it skippable, but like that's not really what I think, but it's the closest to what I think. How do you feel about raids getting nerfed days, weeks, months after launch? Nerfs are inevitable. The easier the better. Nerfs should happen once, announced well ahead of time, and then never again for that content. Things changing rapidly makes it difficult to assess my progress compared to others. Outliers aside, nerfs never feel good and should never happen. Let players struggle. We'll get it eventually. That's tough because sometimes you do need to nerf if it's just too hard. Like in Scarlet Enclave is too hard and they nerfed it. I think you want to make it so that you do as little balance changing as possible. You let players play the game, but sometimes it's necessary. Maybe I feel like this, like outliers aside, like sometimes there's outliers, but like you shouldn't really nerf this stuff. But this is a perfect world. Of course you're going to need to nerf it. Nerfs should happen once. So I disagree with that. Like they shouldn't happen at all. If Blizzard has to hit the mark. If they miss the mark, then you have to buffer nerf. They shouldn't happen though. They should be avoided at all costs. How is that even a topic? Yeah, exactly. This is kind of a silly question. Like it should be, like the answer should be, in a perfect world, get released at a perfect difficulty. If nerfs are necessary, then do them. Yeah, the question is, should the devs get balancing right ahead of release? Exactly. I was actually thinking about this. How hard would it be to get the balancing right if you're a dev? Like that seems really tough to get to make it not too hard and not too easy. Seems really, really hard. Given the choice of a new raid being spoiled by PTR, but launched relatively bug-free, versus a completely unseen raid, but fairly buggy, what would I prefer? I prefer the bugs, the wonder of not having seen what's in the raid. Yeah, Scarlet Enclave was sick. Wait, there was no Scarlet Enclave PTR, right? Yeah, no, there wasn't. I like the unseen stuff. I think PTR, yeah, pre-playing it all is stupid. Scarlet Enclave, bro, when we went into that last boss room, I was like freaking out. Like a 12-year-old. I was like, oh my gosh, look at that sword, bro. Like, yeah, it's like super rad. Something you've never seen before. You don't even know what's gonna happen next. Rank your ideal raid size for Classic Plus. I think 20 is my I like 20, 10, 25, 15. Actually, maybe 10 is my favorite. 10, 20, 25, 15. 30 feels weird. At that point, just go 40. These are weird. 30 and 35 are both weird. I like smaller raids. I don't know. I'm a little more unique here. I don't know why I'm this way, but I've always just loved 10-man raids. Like in SOD, we had 10-man ZG. We had 10-man BFD. Like it's just so easy to get 10 gamers. You get 1 tank, maybe 2 tanks, couple healers, deeps, go. It's like so much more fun. It's so much more accessible for the average guy too. How do you feel about raids and or bosses? Or like I was talking to Ampy about this. For Ampy, he likes 40-mans, but it's like, of course you do. You're Ampy. You're so good at raid leading. You know, you can command an army of people. It's probably super fun. But for like the average Joe, I think it's just not. It's like, let's just get 10 people and go. Ampy would lead a 300-man. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. For my ideal Classic Plus, and I know people will disagree with this one, and this is fine. Like, I think it's fine to disagree here. I would like some 10-man raids and then like some 20 or 25-man raids. So like Ani would be like 25-man or 20-man. And I would like AQ 40 to be like 20-man, Nax to be 20-man, but then like ZG to be like 10, AQ 20 to be 10. So basically the way they did it in SOD. In SOD you had AQ 10 and AQ 20 and Nax 20. Like the way they did it in SOD, like 10 or 20, it was nice. I liked it a lot. How do you feel about raids and or bosses requiring resistances in Classic Plus? They're annoying, they should be removed. It's okay for the tanks or a couple players, but the entire raid shouldn't need them. Resistances are a fun way to do horizontal progression and are true to Classic. I'd be disappointed if they were removed. I don't care. It's a tough one. So they tried horizontal progression resistances in SOD Phase 6, Molten Core Heat 3. That's a lot of numbers. Or I guess Phase 5 maybe. And it was a failure. It was a failure because people farmed all their gear, and then they just needed to replace it with green resistance gear. It sucked. I do think it might be a good way to do horizontal progression, but I don't know. Maybe I'll say this one. It's okay for tanks or a couple, but not the entire raid. Maybe that's fine. Should raids have multiple difficulty levels? No, keep the raids one. It gets annoying when there are many people with different versions of a boss. Yes, I like my raids easy and hard, but I don't want to gatekeep other people who want the other option. This is a very tough question. So for a long time in WoW, there was no difficulty levels, right? Well, I guess it was just Classic and TBC. In Wrath, you had Heroic. Oh. In Classic and TBC, killing Illidan was a big deal. Killing Kel'Thuzad was a big deal. It wasn't this asterisk of, oh, was it on Heroic? Something about that does feel kind of cool. Like, I cleared Scarlet Enclave. Like, I cleared Nax. Like, it's not about, like you did the hardest thing, not on easy, hard difficulty. I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like the one difficulty thing. You know what? I actually like how they did it in SOD. I have to say, SOD got a lot right, which is crazy to say. In SOD, what they did is there was like hard modes that gave more loot, right? Hard modes that gave more loot. I think SOD did it right. It was just more loot. It was the same raid. You could do the most people did the normal raid, but if you wanted hard mode, you get more loot for an extra challenge. I think that worked. I'll put no opinion then. Ulduar did it right too. I haven't done Ulduar hard modes recently. It's been a while. Was Ulduar hard mode different loot or more loot? I think it was different loot from memory. Okay, it's been a long time. It was different loot. That's what I thought. It was better loot and different loot. I don't know if I want different loot on a hard mode in Classic WoW. I don't think I do. I don't think I want higher item level gear, different loot from a hard mode in Classic WoW. No. So I disagree with that. I don't want it like Ulduar. I want it like SOD. You get more loot, but it's the same stuff. I think that makes more sense. How would you want the difficulty of raids in Classic Plus? Keep them about as hard or even easier than Classic. I don't want to prog multiple days just to kill a boss. The difficulty should be about as hard as some of the raids were in SOD. Tough for some, easy for others, but definitely harder than their originals. I think SOD once again nailed this. Like, the difficulty should be about SOD level. Scarlet Enclave did a really good job. Nax in SOD was good. I don't want it to be too hard, but I think SOD kept that. Man, this Classic Plus raid survey makes me realize how well they did in SOD for the decision making for raids specifically, not for all the other stuff. They actually did a good job for the decision making, because it's like, yeah, I just want how SOD was, right? Really, they did a good job. If there were different difficulties of raids, how should the loot differ? If there were different difficulties, so more loot drops per boss. That's it. That's literally it. Should cooldowns reset in raids after a wipe or successful kill, like Rec or B-Res? The DPS player in me wants them to be reset. But the classic Andy in me wants it to be not reset. I'm torn, guys. I'm torn. I don't know, dude. That's a tough one. I think ultimately I think no, because like, so when we were raiding Nax the other week, last week, it was kind of a cool thing where it's like, all right, guys, this is a dry pull. No cooldowns, no lay on hands, no shield walls, no world buffs. Gonna figure this out. Okay, guys, this is a real pull. We have one shot. We got world buffs. You know, world buffs are maybe a different conversation, but we have 1 hour cooldowns. We have lay on hands. We have shield walls. This is our good pull. Let's lock in. That's kind of a cool thing, right? It shouldn't be every pull, everyone uses everything. So let's say no on this one, even though the DPS player in me wants to say yes. How do you feel about world bosses? They're annoying and incentivize no-lifing. I don't mind. I never felt like I was missing much. Yeah, I don't mind them. I don't know if I love them, but I don't mind them. How would you want world bosses to look? They should be more accessible, making them instance like they were in SOD. Another SOD W. Yes. So in SOD, they instance world bosses so everyone could do them on a lockout. Yeah, that was a SOD W. Everyone disagrees with this. I've done it both ways. I've had the big world PvP battles, but let's be honest. 99% of the time, it's one sweaty guild taking every tag. There's never any world PvP that comes of it. That's like 99% of the time, there's no world PvP. It's one sweaty guild and that's it. So yeah, I like them instanced. Now you guys are agreeing with me? Okay, yeah, I like them instanced. Like, it's like, I've seen it play out both ways. The first way is the world PvP sucks 99% of the time and it's one sweaty guild that takes every tag. It's like, okay. The second way is at least people can play the game. You can world PvP outside anyway. So yeah, I think this is the best way to do it. Or a better way to do it, I guess. How do you feel about limited time events? Like the AQ Gate event spawning content in the world with a set time. They're awesome, yeah. I like these events and the narratives they create, but they shouldn't last longer than 10 hours or even a couple of days, so I have time to engage with them. I love these events, want to see more of them. They're epic. I was here. Yeah, it's exciting. I don't know if I want like a ton more of them. Like they should be very limited, but like they're fun and exciting. Yeah, maybe this one. How do you feel about quests that require you to enter multiple raids, like Thunder Fury requiring MC Bull ATH? They're great. Super cool. Yeah, it gets you into the old raids too. I like these, but maybe once the content has passed the current meta, create some sort of catch-up so I don't have to run it. Don't you dare change these. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool running to the old world and doing the quest. Yeah, it's awesome. How do you feel about bosses cycling week to week or mechanics changing over time? Beatrix and Scarlet Enclave, Chromagus Breaths, etc. Some variety's fun, but drastically changing it's a step too far. Let's do that. I don't know if I hate it or love it. How long should a raid key remain relevant on average? Only for the current raid or replace most of it the next tier. Current raid should be comparable to or slightly worse than the next tier. Current gear should be relevant for 2+ tiers. I'm not sure. It's a hard question that will require some solution, but I don't see a clear answer. It's probably this one. It's tough. Very tough. Very, 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 very tough. This is the horizontal versus vertical thing, right? Like, if you make, like, this is more horizontal. Current gear should be relevant for more tiers. This is more vertical. You replace it every single tier with a full new set of gear. The real answer is like when a new tier comes out, like there's still reasons to go to the old raids. There should always be reasons to revisit the old raids, especially when you make a new character. When you make a new character, you should not go to the most current raid. I'll say that again. When you make a new character in Classic Plus, you should not right away go to the current raid. You should go to Molten Core, where you should be. Then you should go to BW. You should progress through them. If it's like retail, where the most current raid is the only raid that matters and all the other ones get replaced, that's bad. When you make, that's the biggest point that to me that matters. When you make a new character, you cannot go to the current raid. You should not be good at, like, it should, you need to progress through them. That's what matters to me. None of these answers early here. So I'll put this one, I guess. Should the phase schedule in Classic Plus reorder the raid schedule release of original vanilla? That's a good question. Probably just more after Nax, like Scarlet Enclave after Nax. I couldn't imagine like a new raid coming before Nax, but maybe it could work, like a new ZG or something. No, like Oldham should be harder than Nax, I think, and like Hyjal should be harder. Like all these raids they work on, they should be harder, I think. Maybe it could be both. Like, yeah, someone said ZA, like a ZA in between could be cool. I think a bit of both. Like some 20 mans or 10 mans in between, and then obviously definitely more after Nax. That's a good question. I'll put no opinion because I think it should be both. Should Classic Plus allow GDKPs? No, GDKPs incentivize real money trading and botting or moving is good for the game. Sorry guys, that's the take. Some of you GDKP lovers out there. Oh my gosh. I imagine not liking GDKPs, bro. I've had so many bad GDKP experiences. It's been awful. I don't know if I've ever had a good GDKP experience. It's only bad experiences with that thing. I hate it. And I'm coming from the perspective of the streamer who usually has a lot of gold because various reasons. And yeah, it still sucks. Chat funded, hard work. That's what, yeah, that's one of the varying reasons. Hard work, yeah. Zone survey, guys, this is the final survey. We've had some good ones today. A lot of really good questions. Do I want new continents, worlds, and dimensions added to Classic Plus? I just want new zones added to what's already there for a while. Like Hyjal, Oldham. Like expand on the current world. If you need to do this like 10 years from now, okay, but not for a long time. If yes, check all you'd like to see, not as they launch, but vanillified. Hyjal, yes. Eversong Woods, I think fits in the old world. This is the TBC map. Does Eversong Woods fit? Is this in the old world? I think it is, but it's just nothing's there. I think it's there. I think anything that's already there works. Isle, no. Ghostlands. Is Ghostlands there? It might be. Oh man. So Northrend, no. Outland, no. Vashir, no. Not for a while. Oldham, yes. Pandaria, no. Draenor, no. Broken Isles, Zandalar, no, 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 no. Dragon Isles actually could go, because that was supposed to be... Dragon Isles could be a thing. That was supposed to be in Classic. Gilneas. I feel like I'm missing some. Caverns of Time, is that on here? I mean, there's a lot. The thing is, though, there's a lot you can do with a lot, you know? Emerald Dream available via portals. This one actually would make sense. They did that in Sod, but like, let's make it better than Sod. I don't know. This one's tough. Twilight Highlands. Where is Twilight Highlands? Because like Vashir, Eastern Kingdoms. Is it this one? Near wetlands? This one? As long as it's already there, I would like to see it built out. So yeah, I agree. Like that's basically my philosophy. Like there's so much that's already here, build it out. Before adding anything new, build out what's there, because we have a lot of space to work with. And then from there, if we need to do more stuff years down the road, okay, fine, right? Lost Isles off the coast of STV? Oh, sure. Oh, do you want new continents and world's dimensions out of the Classic Plus? No. If yes, check what you want to see. What? This doesn't make any sense. Continents, worlds, and dimensions? No. I want stuff that already exists, like these. Survey Rider, what's going on? I'm still gonna put no than yes here, I think. What do you prefer Blizzard focus on, improving existing zones or adding new ones? Improve existing. Somewhere in between. I guess somewhere in between, because we still want new zones like these ones we mentioned. Should there be a fast travel option? I don't think so. No. Yeah, if you want faster travel in Classic, which is another question, more efficient flight paths like how they are in TBC. If you guys have noticed, there's more flight paths and more efficient flight paths in TBC. I think that's maybe fine, but like portals all over the place, nah. That should just be for mages to sell. Okay, should certain fast travel options be unlockable via quest, achievements, and activities? Would you want to see more rare spawns and rare events in the world? Okay, keep them rare, I guess. How would you feel about more open world mini bosses like world bosses, but catered to 5 players? Is this like Stromboli Keep type stuff? Or like max level? Like elite quest? Like Stromboli Keep and like more Latum and stuff? Not sure, depends how it's implemented, I guess, maybe. Should there be more PvP locations and events? I like these, they add variety, they get in the way of leveling. Remove PvP areas. I like these, they add variety, I guess. You don't want too many of them though. Should the phase in Classic Plus feature limited time or rotating world events like Elemental Invasions, AQ Opening, and Scourge Evasions? Maybe so long as they rotate and aren't permanent, I guess. I like the world changing, but I think, yeah, maybe that one. Should the phases that Classic Plus progress through change the world in a permanent way, like Cataclysm? I would say no. No, Classic Plus should retain the old world feel. I don't want the world getting breathed on by fire and having everything ruined, man. Just keep the world. Don't change Elwyn Forest. It's already good, right? Like you can add little tweaks here and there, but like just keep it like this. Guys, we did it! Classic Plus surveys, guys. We did our duty. Blizzard, please pay attention, hopefully. Community results. We're still waiting for more people to help summon the results. Okay, guys, so the results should be in... who knows? And then from there, I'm very curious to what my opinions were versus